it up then.
There you go. Are we on? I hope we are. If we are, then what's up, guys? Romeo here. Doing a quick little discussion real quick on the ban list that just dropped. We just I'm guessing a few hours ago. By the way, for this video, I'm only going to be talking about the stuff that is banned. Just to kind of get the rest out the way now, I'm going to quickly go over the stuff that was limited, semi-limited, and taken off of the list so you guys know what's happening. If you guys like my stuff, subscribe to my channel. I ain't post jack crap on here in a while. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. My most popular video is AMV. That's sad. Anyway, if you guys like my stuff, please subscribe. I'm trying to get more stuff on this channel now. I've said that billions of times before, but this time I have people who are going to help me, so it's cool now. Good. On the screen, you're going to be seeing the list. Let's just go through the limited real quick. Ugh, pardon me. Ignis Heat, the True Draco Warrior. That's going to be explained with the other stuff. Miscellaneousaurus. Dinosaurs needed to get hit. Miscellaneousaurus essentially makes your dinosaurs unaffected. Gives you Aleo, makes Denlong, get into that later. Zodiac Ratpier had to get hit to 1. It was bound to happen. Zodiac. Ratpier to 2 still gave the deck enough of an engine in order for it to do what it had to do. Dark Hole to 1. This I kinda get. Miscellaneousaurus was nice because of the fact that it made it unaffected. However, when it wasn't unaffected and you still had to get your resources going, technically speaking, if you really wanted to be that guy, if you already have your babies in the grave, you can technically soul charge if you're not attacking. Say you're going turn 1. Soul charge, bring back both of your babies, Dark Hole, nuke the whole board. Say if they struck your ultimate conductor or something like that, nuke the whole board, get rid of both of your babies. Both of the babies will go off. You get a board, get Oviraptor, Miscellaneousaurus maybe, Giant Rex maybe. You can just start to go in and just have the nuts just off of those. Gateway of the Sixth had to kind of come off. I don't understand why it didn't get the errata of the you can only activate one effect once per turn, because Gateway Loop is still possible. As far as I know, it's not errated. Kaiju Slumber had to go to 1. I'm sorry, I've seen the card a lot more now because of the fact that Kaiju's as a thing. World Child's Kaiju is pretty sure is going to kind of start bumping up. Masterpiece is, you know, still a card. Diagram is still a card. Spoiler alert. But yeah, and True King's Return, which I believe popped the card if it left the field. I'm not specifically sure on it. I would look it up, but too much work. Semi-limited. BLS at 2. Kind of happy. BLS hasn't really done a lot. Putting it to 2 doesn't do that much more, although Twilight Sworn just got a little bit of a boost. I'll go more than that into with this stuff as well. Luster Pendulum to 2. I don't know what happened. Duelist Alliances are damn near $30. They're almost near the price of a Firewall Dragon. And Firewalls, I believe, are $35-$40 right now. And Duelist Alliances are nearing 30. So if you didn't get yours when they were 5s, 7s, don't know what to tell you. Mathematician, I mean, I guess I don't really understand why it didn't just come off the 3. I understand doing baby steps. It could still do something. Invoker is still a card. Brionic, I mean, you don't really see it a lot aside from maybe Mermails. Hyper Librarian lost his luster mainly because of link format. Brain Control. Brain Control's errata is so terrible. Burial from a Different Dimension. Something funny about this card, and I actually don't know. Maybe you guys can answer this in the comments. Can you recycle Pot of Desire's banished cards? Because I know it banishes it face down. Can you actually return the cards that you banished off of Pot of Desires because it sets its face down? I think it does. I'm pretty sure it does. If you guys know, let me know. I personally myself do not know. I haven't played the card in God knows how long. What are we at? El Shaddoll Fusion. it's just a quick play polymerization for Shaddolls. I feel like right now it's not doing anything. Maybe it's gonna do something in the future. Preparation of rights should not. I'm sorry, you're gonna probably hate me. It should not have come off at 2. Necros are getting a huge boost because of this. Even though we don't have shirt, even though Brionic's still at 1, pretty sure Unicorn is at 1. Let me actually check that real quick. Yeah, Unicorn is at 1, Brionic is at 1. Even though they're still at 1, the fact that preparation came off at 2 kind of helps the deck just a little bit. Vendreads get a huge plus from this, so personally I feel like it's a win-lose situation. You're not really going to get a lot from it. But if you're playing Necros, you're probably going to have a field day with this. And then the Unlimiteds. This kind of threw me off guard a lot. Debris Dragon, don't care about. Honest, don't care about. Rescue Cat, got added. Rescue Rabbit to 3 is way too soon for this. We just got World Chalice. Dinos technically are still a thing. We got more Dino-ish support. We still have Oviraptor. We still have Giant Rex. 1 Miscellaneous Source. Still 1 Miscellaneous Source. 3 babies each. I mean, I guess it could do something. Maybe it can be an engine possibly in the future. But to me, I feel like bringing Rabbit back to 3 might be a bit much. 2, yeah, I of course 2. 3, I would probably wait to see what would have happened with World Chalice. And maybe with some other stuff as well, because I know in my Pendulum build, I played Rescue Rabbit with Dragon Pulse, and it was actually pretty nice because you make instant misses off of that. Summoner Monk, though, doesn't really matter. You're not really discarding a lot of your spells like that anymore. Usually, any spell you get is to your advantage. Whether it's Pot of Desires for draw power, Brilliant Fusion for extra normal summon, Duelist Alliance now for pendulums, Wavering Eyes, all that good stuff. It all can be kind of used. And speaking of Wavering Eyes, it went from 0 to 100, legitimately. Like, it went from banned to just straight up, you're free. You're no longer a threat to us. You can leave. Now, don't jinx me on this. Don't look at me like I'm weird. It could possibly do something. We saw in the recent, actually, I'm going to bring it up. Why not? Let's bring this up. OCG Meta Game Report. Oh, can I spell? I don't know. No. See, the fact of me having this little camera part right here is because, you know, case cam, but I can't move it right now. So, OCG, of course you do. Meta Game Breakdown. September. Oh wow, I actually spelled all that right. I'm proud of myself. I believe Road to the King had something. There we go. By the way, guys, if you guys don't know what Road to the King is, kind of gives you daily, you know, what's happening in the week with the OCG. I don't know if they do TCG a lot, but let's take a look at this. So this is very interesting to say the least. Okay, so with August 29th, we were, you know, looking at Hero, Invoked, things like that. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to kind of hop just a little bit into the future, okay? The future, what this could possibly become. Let's see, as soon as we can get it loading up. Oh, here we go. Okay, so as of right now, unless they release something new, this is the OCG metagame. And as you can see, there's 2, well, excluding Spiral, because Spiral is the shit now. My super agents are on the way, so I possibly might be building Spiral. I don't know. I don't know if I want to pay that double Helix money. And that's a little no. I'm waiting for it to cool down a little bit. If it could cool to 40. Okay, I'll probably buy it, but knowing this little ban list that we just had, we will most likely be having it as a maybe $60 card, maybe 70-ish, maybe when it first drops. Dinosaur is still doing a thing, but they have different stuff hit over there. Magician, that's kind of why I wanted to bring up Dual Lines before I get into the whole stuff that's banned. But yeah, that's just that. And then just the other stuff. Charged Light Brigade. Listen. If Twilight Sworns magically start doing something, it's probably because they have 3 charge to search Lumina, both Luminas, or whatever you need. And Dragon Bee's not on the list no more. Destrudo ABC might be a thing. This might need to go to 2, maybe 1 in the future, depending on how good Destrudo ABC does. Okay, now that we're done all that extra stuff, now I'm going to get into detail, and this is where I go to my trusty pink phone. Oh, well. What? Okay. What app was it in? That one. I have 2 notepad apps, so, you know, one I don't use. I'm just too lazy to uninstall it. Bring it up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so, right here I have my little notes. I'm pretty much going to go down this and cover what I can cover. I'm going to start off with Dynamite to 0, okay? So the fact that we have Diagram at 3, Masterpiece at 3, kind of surprised me. Kind of felt like we should have gotten at least Diagram to 1, at least. If you didn't hit Masterpiece, I felt like you guys should have hit Diagram, but I'm going to see what happens. To me, it hurts the deck that we lost, you know, 3 Dynamite and 2 Ignis and 2 True King Return. That's 7 cards we just lost from that deck, and 7 cards of which kind of mattered, and that's if you're playing 3 Ignis. Now, that being said, you may or may not be playing 3 Ignis. I don't know how you build, but the deck's fragile. Okay, very, very fragile now. If you see a monster hit board, you can just simply warning it at this point and pretty much screw your opponent over. The fact that the deck can now lose to stuff like Ghost Ogre, the fact that Dynamite was able to just magically set every time you did something, pretty much setting up on your turn. And I know Ignis did the same thing, and I'm pretty sure Majesty Maiden adds it to your hand. I am not too sure on their effects. I'm not a true Draco guy. Never really was, because I knew that the deck was going to get smashed eventually. But the fact that, you know, Dynamite, Ignis, and Return, you know, got hit in some way, shape, or form, especially Dynamite. I did not expect Dynamite to get hit that bad. But the fact that they got hit, the deck's not dead. It's just very, very painful to work around. And I think it's more or less the fact that when you're playing a deck like this, you have to remember that this deck is kind of like Zoo. It's splashable in a lot of stuff. By the way, I'm going to get to Zoo. Don't worry. It's splashable in different things. You know, True King Dino, True King Yangzing, True King Yangzing Dinosaur, Demise True Draco. It was a lot of stuff that it was essentially implemented in. And now that we kind of lost a good part of that engine, a good chunk of, you know, beside, like I said, once again, besides Masterpiece and Diagram, it still hurts. And it's still going to be a pretty fragile deck going into the future. Now, with that being said, I would say the most viable would probably still be Demise True Draco, because they still have Carter Demise. Carter Demise did not get hit. You still have your normal summon. You can still just activate a spell, send it to the grave, summon a monster, and just keep going from there. You still have your 3 Heritage, which at the OCG, I think they banned it or limited it. Either way, Heritage is still a card over here. So, you know, you can still draw whatever you need to draw, things like that. It's just, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of deal with it now. You have options, depending on how you summon your Masterpiece. If you summon it, spell Trap now, which I don't know. In my opinion, I feel like we might be seeing that a lot more. I feel like it might just start crumbling bit by bit to Firewall Dragon, because Firewall is a monster effect that bounces it back. So even though you get it back, it's still gonna hurt because of the fact that if you didn't tribute a monster, and you may have Disciple, Heritage, Return, things like that, if you have those on board, then it's like, okay, I'll sack this off for my Masterpiece, banish whatever, but I can just Firewall your stuff. And if I really want to, depending on the mutual links it's to, I could bounce your firewall if you target my I could target your masterpiece. You target my firewall. It's like, okay, cool, firewall effect. Target itself and masterpiece. Puts itself back, doesn't get banished, doesn't take L's, and essentially you can just get back your firewall depending on the deck you play. Grand Soil I'm not going to talk about. I already know about the loops. I already know about Dinosaur FTK. It's really dumb. Had to get hit. You're dead. Thank you. This kind of broke my neck. True King Lithosagium the Disaster. Oh, man. This is really good. I'm happy this got hit. Lithosagium just says, let me look at your extra deck. Okay, good. You don't need these. So, the fact that this got hit kind of tells us something. Engaminazar was the money card before, when True Kings just got there, just said, hey, we got an Earth one now, we got our Water one, we got a Fire one, because Fire one came out, Dark Illusion, Water came out, Invasion Vengeance, and the Earth one came out, Raging Tempest. Zodiacs? It's a very powerful card. And the fact that the whole dinosaur deck almost consists of all Earth monsters, especially the babies. Oh man, that was a devastating combo. Excuse me. The fact that you can just take the babies out of your hand, get rid of them, get a Lithosagium, get rid of 3 important cards in your opponent's extra deck, and get 2, essentially the entire engine you need just to kind of kill your opponent. That's very oppressive. And Lithosagium kind of pushes that pressure down, because Lithosagium can get rid of your Seraphite, your Emerald. By the way, just going to put this out there before I get to it. See where Emerald is now, right? Yeah. So anybody who just picked up Emeralds thinking you're going to use it in World Chalice Pendulums, there you go. Hopefully you didn't lose money from it. But anyway, Lithosagium is a very dangerous card, and I'm happy that it got hit to 0. I'm very, very surprised it happened so early. Holy crap, like that hit me in the face. I originally did not think that Lithosagium was gonna be that bad of a hit. There's a person right there. Right there. Wait, I'm doing that wrong. Right there. There it is. It's a person right there. That's my girly friend. Yeah, but the fact that Lithosagium just sat there and smacked 3 cards out of the extra deck, and your opponent can choose what it is, bruh, that's terrible. Dengon. That was a terrible pun. I'm sorry. Dengon had to go. It just made calamities. It turboed a lot of the deck. And the fact that it was not generic to Yang Zings. If you made a generic to Yang Zings, I don't think it would have been that much better. But you had to rely on Sawani and Shiwen, and that would require you to most likely play Path. And if you're playing them, then you also would have to play the Earth ones so that you can destroy with Lithosagium. See. So it kind of didn't matter either way. Denglong had to get hit. And it seems like this is the only Synchro monster that's banned. And I think this might be the first Synchro monster that is banned as of late. So I'm pretty sure no other ones are banned. As of like recently? Yeah. So first Synchro in a while. Daigusto Emerald. Oh jeez. Let's get to Emerald before I get to Zoo. Emerald kind of has something to do with Zoo. It also kind of has something to do with True Draco. And it also kind of has something to do with the fact that it can essentially loop the entire, whatever combo that you're doing. Now, Firewall Dragon is a card. I hope they took that into consideration when they hit this. If not, then it's a preemptive hit. If it's not a preemptive hit, it's just getting rid of it altogether, because that card has done a lot. The fact that you can pretty much mini draw Avarice, just for a cheaper, essentially, you shuffle less back into the deck for the same payout, which, in retrospect, is nice because it's a walking jar of Avarice S type of card. but it also can summon a non-effect monster, which means that it can summon the Garnet that you just used for Brilliant Fusion. And if you already did both normal summons and Seraph Knight still on the field, you can use the Seraph Knight, and you can use the Garnet to make Mrs. Radiant. Guess what? You have a Link monster now pointing that way, and you have your monster right there. So, board positioning, all that good stuff. And I'm pretty sure I don't need to talk about this, but I'm going to talk about it anyway as a whole. Zodiac is dead. Thank God. I could not stand seeing another player do the following. Rapier, Ram, plays. It's like, no, please stop. Just it's so terrible to see this happen, man. Like, it's so terrible that it took this long for Broadbull and Dryden to get hit. And originally, Norden got hit because it was like, okay, maybe we can slow it down just a little bit. Nah, they were still going just as strong. They didn't really need Norden. Norden was just the extra, extra little salt on top of that player's, that losing player's head. Like, hey, I just Norden into a Dryden. How does that make you feel? However, though, just kind of bring it back into logical standpoints. Broadbull essentially searched the entire main deck archetype of Zodiac. It searched Rapier, which was pretty damn painful to begin with, but you can special Rapier, so it doesn't really matter. Thoroughblade, if you need to get some, some big buff Zodiacs on the board. Whiptail, if you need to ban something, and that's technically the most commonly known search, would be Whiptail. Whiptail's effect automatically attaches to Dryden. You now have a Dryden that can not only destroy, but if you battle it, you'll banish that monster, even if you kill said Dryden. So, there's a lot going on. Going into Dryden, you know what I mean? The fact that it can just either play its turn, pop a card, doesn't seem bad at first, but then when you kind of realize that you can end up with this every single game, and it's no longer an option to just say, hey, I'm not going to worry about Dryden. Dryden's not a lot. It still put pressure on board. Just the sight of Broadbull and Dryden was very, very unsettling. Rapier, just to throw it in here with the Zodiac stuff, Rapier 1, you know what I mean? It's long overdue. The OCG had it for... Jeez, they got Raging Tempest over there long before we did. I know that. I know for them, they banned... What did they do first? Oh, that's the other thing I want to mention too. Over here, Barrage is not banned. So, you can do what the OCG did before it fully died out and use Zoo as a Mrs. Radiant engine. No, right? But here's the bad thing about it. It's the fact of you're using Zoo now as an only Mrs. Radiant engine. That's kind of terrible. You see how much resources you would kind of have to put into in order to do it. And in my opinion, I feel like it's not worth it. You'd have to activate your Barrage, and you would have to essentially go from there. And it's painful when that Barrage gets Cosmic Cyclone. Oh, man. It's a wonderful feeling. And I kind of feel like because Cosmic Cyclone's a card, Diagram and Barrage aren't anything to worry about anymore. Because of the fact that we kind of don't have to worry about, dealing with the big threats anymore. Now, this does not, however, justify the amount of rape that both Zodiac and True Draco got in the TCG. Okay, it justifies it, but not a lot. There's different reasons for this being banned. It's the fact that it's time for a new meta. Okay, Worlds just got done. True King Dinos got dicked. Okay, they got smacked down into the worthless dollar pile in your local card shop at this point. However, on the other hand, Masterpiece and Diagram are back up to when they were... It wasn't when they were first released. I know Diagram, I think, is now $40 to $50, somewhere in that range, and it was $30 before. That's kind of expected. Masterpiece went from 10 to 15. All right, fair enough. I'm pretty sure Barrage ain't do nothing. Oh man, the fact that Zodiac and True Draco and True King Dinosaurs and Loot Decks and Emerald, just all of that, man. And just to kind of, now I'm gonna shift just for this little end of the video before I go. Anyone feel like Ignister just might start creeping off the list? Now, this should not come off the list, okay? It is too damn good even now. And now we also have 3 Wavering Eyes, and we have 2 Luster Pendulum, and we have Harmonizing Magician, and if you really want to count it, we have White Wing Magician, all Pendulum tuners. The whole Pendulum Magician deck is essentially Pendulum. You know, not to mention if you play hand traps, you have Dagger Man, you have Lizard Draw, which can help you make Invoker, which can also help you get to the Brilliant Fusion engine. You can also play the Predator Plant engine, you can just normal summon Search, keep going from there. It's so much that Pendulums can do that I kind of feel like this cannot come off yet. But you never know. TCG might be like, you're doing good. Take a second Ignister. Never know. You definitely never know. Still looking at this Gateway of the Six, like this should not come off yet. I don't know when we actually get Spirit Warriors. Before we go, let's look up when we get Spirit Warriors. Because that kind of depends. Because if it's coming out in November, oh jeez. If it comes out in November, then chances are it's justifiable. Let's see, when does it come out? November 17th. So, funny enough, that's kind of around no sooner than November. Okay, November. We might have to wait to see. Excuse me. What happens? Okay, I'm done with this. You can go back to where you were now. Oh no, I went too far. Oh, excuse me. I had something before I started the video. I feel like I shouldn't have done it. But for the most parts, I like this ban list. This is the part where I kind of give Konami kudos. Well done, Konami. You actually made me proud. You've done something that it's kind of hard to do now. You've impressed me. The fact that you were able to hit Zoo and kill them. The fact that you were able to hit True Draco and cripple them. The fact that you ultimately slaughtered True King Dinos. And the fact that you kind of gave back a lot of classical engine-based cards, their stuff back. That's pretty good. So I have to give it a small little round of applause for Konami. Good job. Hopefully we can get specific dates again. That would be great. So guys, this is our list now. This is essentially our fall list. So September, October, at least, no, the least we'll get it, the soonest we'll get it is November. So this is a new meta for 3 months. Circuit Break arrives within this time period. So this is our Circuit Break list. This is also our first post Code of Duelist, post Link era list, if I'm correct. I'm not counting the adjusted list. This is our full on, legitimately, I'm ready to come at you post Link list. If you guys want to go back to the previous list so you can see what's on there. You can see what it was. You can see what happened. The only real difference was things got adjusted. So there you go. And this was the last list we had before before we hit Worlds, before a lot of stuff, man. So looking at it now, it doesn't seem like it was that far away though. It seemed like a long time. And then kind of going back one more time. Man, wow, look at that. Just to kind of give you an idea, this is when Maximum Crisis was about to hit. Wow. Right before Maximum Crisis, we got this bad Mamma Jamma. Oh, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to kind of see just how long. And this is also before Duel Saga came out as well. So, man, it was wow. Really, really interesting stuff. So, that being said, I think I'm kind of done here. We've done a lot of good stuff for the most part, Konami. Let's just keep it going. That's something I can probably say going from here on. Thank you guys so much for watching this. If you guys really like this video, like I said, make sure to subscribe, click the bell notification. You'll know when my ugly self posts videos. I'm going to be doing some Yu-Gi-Oh stuff as of right now. It's the most base thing I can do. Editing, don't expect a lot of it right now. I know before I used to do a lot of editing, things like that. Right now, can't. I don't have the time for it. You know what I mean? Between my adult life, my responsibilities, things like that I have to do. You know what I mean? It's a lot. So I'm trying. You know what I mean? I'm trying. I'm gonna try to put this video up tonight. If I don't, I'll put it up in the morning, and then I'll do another one tomorrow night. I'll probably just do a small market watch, just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's happening to the ban list. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this. And this is Romeo or Raiko, whatever you want to call me at this point. I don't care. I'm going to go by Romeo because it's easier. It's my name. You can't miss it. Okay? So, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye. Now I just gotta do the usual.